Alright, Shalom, giving all praises, glories, and honors unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all you sincere Akim pushing this truth in the true name and in the true doctrine of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Alright, and those the believers, women, children that consist of the elect, the 1/3. This is Kodash Payat, and in this video I just want to get into how the scriptures mention us, being fishers of men, casting our nets, and that's basically it was commanded us to do so. All right. Now this is the book of Matthew chapter 4 verse 19. It says, and he saith unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Now, when you have a fish and you cast your net into the water, it may take some time to actually get some fish. That requires having patience. And I've gone fishing before. It takes a while, and you just got to be awake. You got to be awake to not fall asleep, right? Because you never know when a fish may come up in that net. You're not aware to will it in, to pull it in, right? So as being fishers of men, we got to go to the broad places, the broadways, the marketplaces, the highways and hedges, by casting out this word, right? We're bringing this word upon them. We're hooking the people into this word, by the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? Because Yahweh Shai is the one that's going to bless you with these fishes. He's going to bless you just like he did with the disciples, right? And it boosts their faith. And, it's like wheeling them into this spiritual lifeboat, right? And let's get the book of St. John chapter 21 verse 3 says, Simon Peter saith unto them, I go a fishing. They say unto him, we also go with thee. They went forth and entered into a ship immediately, and that night they caught nothing. So, the scriptures also tell you, sometimes we may prophesy unto the wind, unto the air, but you can't be discouraged. You can't let that discourage you, because you may not have many people following, what you're saying, or, lead gatherers, right? But as far as being fishers of men, that spiritual ark is chariots that Yahweh Shai is going to come back in. Who you ignorantly call Jesus is Yahweh Shai. And, we got to wait upon him to come save us. And it's like being a fish. Also, if you want to make a comparison real quick, because the scriptures mention of us as being worms. Worms is a harmless, a defenseless creature. Like a fish as well. If you catch a fish, it wiggles, it tries to get away, and sometimes you may have people come up to you. They're hooked by the word, but that don't mean that they're they're clean. Just like how you got when you fish, you get animals, you get fish, but you get all types of different fish, crabs, shrimp, whatever, but not all of it is clean, right? So the Lord's dealing with a few, just like he saved 8 souls with the ark. With Noah building the ark, it took a long time, and he was by himself, and 8 souls were saved, man. And a spiritual ark is going to be the chariots. So they caught nothing, right? Next verse, it says, but when the morning was now come, Yahweh Shai stood on the shore, but the disciples knew not that it was Yahweh Shai. So they're looking, they're like, yo, who's that? It's morning time. They just getting up. They ain't eat because they didn't catch no fish last night. So it says, then Yahweh Shai saith unto them, children, have ye any meat? They answered him and said, no. They answered him, no. And he said unto them, cast the net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. They cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw it for the multitude of fishes, right? So it says, therefore that disciple whom Yahushua loved saith unto Peter, it is the Lord. Khan. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he girt his fisher's coat unto him, for he was naked, and did cast himself into the sea. And the other disciples came in a little ship, for they were not Salakia, for they were not far from land, but as it were 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishes. So the Lord blessed them with so many fishes, man. Right? So that's and when you do have somebody come up to you and listen sincerely, right? There's joy in the heavens over one sinner that repented. The scriptures speak about, right? So let's say, for example, these brothers, right? The disciples, Peter, they were catching, they were sleeping, right? In the water. Think about it. At nighttime it's cold. They didn't catch fish. They were hungry, right? Now they down and out. Let's just sometimes when you're hungry, you're like, let's go to sleep, But when they woke up, they had they had multiple fishes to eat, right? They were, so that is very spiritual. This is Matthew 14:24. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night, Yahushua went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit, and they cried out for fear, right? But straightway Yahushua spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. So, the scriptures also mention this when it brings out in certain verses about the sea, it represents people as well, right? Because you're gonna have the sea of fire as well. Now we're gonna connect this real quick. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 15, verse 2. It says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of God. So this is the elect that overcame, the hour of temptation, all the prophecies that's coming to pass. All right, the mark of the beast, of being in this captivity to this day, overcoming the things that are going to befall us, and this is the elect that's looking down, that's looking, with the harps of God, right? You understand when we go to Revelation 21, it tells you here, but the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and adulterers and all liars shall have their part in the lake with burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So right now, even though we're casting out our nets, bringing out the word of the Lord, as fishers of men on this spiritual lifeboat, right? Just the same way as Noah, was trying to prophesy and bring people. Yahushua is going to come back with his chariots, when in the midst of World War III, the mark of and when the mark of the beast is, forcefully being implemented upon society, America, which is Babylon the Great, is going to be completely wiped away with fire, which is that lake of fire. And that second death is the people that's going to get caught up into it, because spiritually these people are already dead, right? They don't got the oil. That's when Ezekiel is speaking about the valley of dry bones, right? So right now we're trying to bring this water, right? This spiritual water, that shall basically Salakia, the spiritual ark that's going to bring the people in, and the doors of repentance is closed, like Yahushua closed the door of the ark of Noah. But this ark is the chariots, the what people ignorantly call UFOs. All right, so we want to get out of here, man, and that's the second death. You don't want to get caught in that. Matthew chapter 14, verse 27, it says, verse 28, it says, and Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water, right? And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahushua Hamashiach. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. Now I want to get another precept, because we got to keep that faith in the midst of the storm, right? Because when you're in that boat, you got a lot of waves rocking to and fro, right? The boat is moving. You trying to get your balanced or whatever. Right? There's a lot of storms in that the Lord brings in the midst. The Lord brings a lot of heavy storms, in the midst of the seas and the oceans. You know what I mean? So you gotta think spiritually. We're going through these storms, but you gotta have that faith, man. Because when you dealing with Yahushua, you gotta believe that He's gonna calm that storm for you, just like how you rebuked the winds. That's why He said, "Ye of little faith," when He was speaking to the disciples, because they realized, oh snap, like I'm really walking on water right now. So when you really see things happening, you gotta keep the faith and know that Yahushua is the one that's making these things happen. He brings the storms just so that way, you know what I mean. You could cry unto Him with faith, so He could calm the storm. That's spiritual. This that spiritual lifeboat, so to speak. This is James 1:6. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. So if you don't, if you don't come right, and believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, know you were Israelite, knowing the faith, knowing the prophecies, being spiritually cleansed by the water of this word, right? Then you're gonna be like it says here, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. So you're gonna, like the scriptures tell you, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you're gonna be unstable, like being tossed, like you on a boat where in a heavy storm with the wind being tossed, right? And we know about the wind. It doesn't have a straight path. The wind comes from all angles, east, west, north, south. The wind blows wherever it may. Just like how the seas go wherever it may. So you don't want to be caught up and be tossed with these waters. Because it's like if you ever seen how people get stuck in the streams, right? And then there's a waterfall at the end. They trying to hang on because it's taking them away. That strength is taking them away. It's like people getting taken away by the streams of philosophies in this world. All right? Let me bring one more precept. Because in the chariots, man, that ark is, you don't want to be caught in the seas with the fire. Let's get 2nd Esdras. Matter of fact, no, preserved. Salakia. Right here. Let's see. I think it's 1 Peter's 7th chapter. And the elements shall burn with a fervent heat. No, that's not the. Salakia. It's a certain one. Hold on. Well, basically, how the Lord spoke about how He brought, water before to destroy the earth, but this time is going to be preserved unto fire. All right. I pretty much covered everything on that. So Lord willing, this video was edifying unto those that got ears to hear and eyes to see. Keep the faith. Lord save me, Khan. I think that's it. That was it on that, right? Yep, I think that was it. Khan. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.